this video, I'm going to show you some really useful hidden tricks that very few people actually know about. The last trick will absolutely blow your mind. If your kitchen cabinets have broken handles and you don't have the money to replace them, don't you worry. You only need to remove the entire broken handle using a screwdriver. After that, we'll take 2 eye bolts and carefully place them into the existing holes that were already made. Next, take a piece of PVC pipe that fits between one eye bolt and another. Then, we take a large bolt and insert it into both eye bolts, passing through the pipe. Finally, we attach a knot. Yes, in this manner, we will obtain an excellent replacement handle that will get you out of any difficult situation. Did you know that if you simply take an empty bottle, then you place a sock right over its opening, and then you add a bit of soap directly on top, you'll be able to clean all of your dirty socks so incredibly easily and quickly just by simply spinning the bottle around and around? If you're planning a vacation with your entire family, I've got a brilliant hack that you are absolutely going to love. You just need to take a clean glove and then insert into each of its individual fingers the toothbrushes of all the family members, just as you can clearly see displayed right here on your screen. This way, you'll be able to prevent them from getting lost if they're just loose. And what's more, you can keep them well protected even if they're inside your baths. If you have a shoebox that you're no longer using, don't just throw it away. You simply need to take the lid and then make a cross-shaped cut right there in the very center of it. In this way, you only have to organize the vegetables that don't need refrigeration. This is extremely practical, as it allows you to easily divide your spaces into several distinct sections, perfectly tailored to your specific needs. If you find yourself needing a coat rack at home, there's no need to worry. You simply need to grab a 5-liter plastic bottle. After that, using a pair of scissors, we can cut it precisely to the specific dimensions that we prefer. Once it has been cut, we take a soldering iron and make holes in the bottom of the bottle. Once these are made, we take clothespins. Now, with a zip tie or a cable tie, we'll carefully place the clips into each of the small holes that we had previously created. Once we have everything positioned and secured in this manner, we can then proceed to cut off all of the excess material. This recycled coat rack is every bit as good as any you'd find in stores. In this one, you can put your underwear or your baby's little personal items. Did you know that if you were to trace your hand on a sheet of cardboard and then cut out a mold? So, you first carefully place a plastic bag flat onto a piece of glass, and then you position the mold precisely on top of that plastic bag, and subsequently, with the soldering iron, you trace along the entire outer perimeter of the mold, and after completing that, do you then cut out the bottom section? You'll get a fantastic custom-made glove that will get you out of any difficult situation. If you happen to have a plastic bottle at home, you definitely need to do this. Grab the plastic bottle and with the assistance of a sharp blade, cut the entire central section into strips. Following this, we will take a soldering iron and then proceed to make a small hole right on the very top surface of the lid. Then, we take a balloon and introduce it into the inside of the bottle. Now, with an air pump, we inflate the balloon. When it is fully inflated, we take the lid and pass the balloon's mouth through the hole we made before. Once it's passed through, we tie a knot. Once we have tied the knot, we will cap the bottle. Now, at the bottom of the bottle, we're going to attach a thread tassel using some adhesive tape. Finally, we're going to take an elastic band and we'll tie it to the very top of the balloon, precisely as you observe it. In this way, we will have a magnificent Chinese lantern that will be ideal for decorating all your festivities. If you have plastic bottle caps, you really need to know this information. First of all, you will place 7 small plastic caps, arranging them to form a flower. After that, using a utility knife or any other implement you might choose, we proceed to carefully remove the base from the 6 caps that are currently protruding. Once it's been cut to the right size, using a hot silicone adhesive, we then very carefully secure all of the caps. Once they are glued, this is how it will look. Next, we take a larger cap and a piece of tubing. Then, with silicone, we glue the tube to the cap. Finally, we apply silicone to the other end of the tube and then we glue the flower that we formed at the beginning. In this particular way, we will then have a very durable toothbrush holder constructed from recycled materials. If you're finding yourself struggling when it's time to clean the floor and you have to fight with it like this, you shouldn't do it anymore. You just need to take a plastic container and with the aid of a crayon, we'll mark the spot where the faucet spout will be and then we carefully cut it out. Once it has been trimmed with an elastic band, we then secure the bottle to the faucet. In this way, the bucket will fill up without you having to make any effort.